It seems like that's it. Let's do
Yes. Hello, everybody. Sometimes things don't always go according to plan, but that's life, and we're able to adjust with it because we're all wonderful Rotarians, right? So I want to thank, just to start off with, Kay and David for working through the technology gremlins.
Wasn't me.
No, it wasn't, you weren't the problem, but the solution. Okay, well, we all work together, we come up with something that works, we don't know exactly how we got there, but it works, so let's not question that. So, welcome to Rotary, everybody, we are glad that you are here, and in typical Rotary fashion, what we're going to do is we're going to start out with our Pledge of Allegiance. Whoops, not that, we don't want that. Can't chew gum and walk at the same time. Thanks, George. Okay, so what we are going to do is Pledge of Allegiance, four-way test patriotic song. We've got virtue reading and invocation, new member induction. Kristen, welcome, Kristen. You might be having second thoughts after this, but you know, as I told David the other day, it's too late now, right?
Yeah.
Announcements, fellowship, and dad joke, and then Dawn is our speaker today. So, all right, so let's go ahead and start out with our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic that stands. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better conditions? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And for the song today, it is the Grand Old Flag. All right, let's hit it. Your broad grand old flag. We stay away. I don't believe it's true. Keep your eye on your regular awesome job, everybody. Awesome. Amazing. I got chills. Okay, so Phoenix, I am coming right back here. Yes. There you go, Gail.
Today's virtue is creativity. Creativity is the power of imagination. We are open to inspiration, which ignites our originality. With creativity, we are resourceful and intuitive. We solve problems in new and surprising ways. We know how to play. We take time for dreaming. Discovering our own special talents is a gift to the world, whether making a meal, playing a sport, or creating a craft. Creativity connects us to the beauty of sound, design, and color, movement, ideas, and words, and allows us to bring something new into the world. Creativity brings our gifts to fruition. The practice of creativity, I treasure my imagination. I am innovative in solving problems. I take time for inspiration. I entertain my dreams. I remember to play. I develop my gifts through learning and discipline. I dare to be original. I am thankful for the gift of creativity. It allows my talents to flower.
Thank you so much, Gail. And I want to thank Mark for choosing that. I feel like we got pretty creative this morning with getting the technology sorted out. And where's Dave? David, Mr. Conley, he has an invocation for us.
Yep, here's a seasonal invocation. It's actually a poem by Walt Whitman. I see great things in baseball. We will take our people out of doors, fill them with oxygen, give them a larger physical stoicism, and tend to relieve us from being a nervous, deceptive set. Repair these losses and be a blessing unto us.
Thank you so much. You may all be seated, and it's interesting that you bring up Walt Whitman because we were watching the Antiques Roadshow the other night and one of his first editions came up on there, and apparently he was self-published in the beginning. And I was also disappointed to find out he was not connected to the Whitman's chocolate samplers. But wasn't that awesome to get the chocolate and then a little inspirational message in there. It seems like a match made in heaven. All right, so Kristen, again, no turning back now. You're one of us, one of us. Okay, now turn over to you for election. There you go.
Thank you, President Kurtz. Welcome David up here as well. It's an exciting time. Let's feel, this feels, let's,
Don't get too close to them.
Oh, thanks for the warning.
right, fellow Rotarians, it is a joy to add new members to this great club, so we can continue to make a meaningful impact locally and around the world. And today we welcome Kristen Lacy. You've been elected to membership in this club because your fellow members believe you to be a worthy representative of your profession, and also possess qualities that will allow you to demonstrate the true spirit of Rotary in your public, business, social, and private life. I wish to impress upon you that you have been admitted not only to the Rotary Club of Faribault, but also to a global network. And by virtue of your membership in this club, you will be welcomed into the fellowship of any Rotary Club in the world. Rotary is a club where you can make a lifelong impact. You can have lifelong impactful connections, both locally and across the globe. The honor and privilege of Rotary membership carries with it responsibilities. And as we know, these responsibilities are meant to be fun. Attend club meetings and participate. Perform club service as a team as we serve our community to make it a better place to live. And place your knowledge and talents at the disposal of our club while we carry out the mission of Rotary into the daily life of our community. Overall, jump in and get involved. So, Kristen, do you agree to the best of your ability to carry out the Rotary ideal of service above self? Perfect. I ask all members to please rise. The name of the Rotary Club of Faribault, and I'll formally induct you into our club. Club members, please welcome Kristen. Perfect, you may be seated. And we do have a four-way test coin. You keep in your pocket to remember the four-way test. George always does a great job reminding us about the four-way test, and we really appreciate that. We also have a pin that you can wear, and it sparks great conversations. And then last but certainly not least, we have a beautiful framed certificate of membership for you, welcoming you into our club. So it's a joy to have you, and please welcome.
The signs, announcement of all signs, thank you. All right, so, well, they're doing their photograph thing. And they just do photo routine now. So, we have those four-way test signs. They are here and they are amazing. They're in that box right over there underneath that window. One box has the sticks that go on the ground, and the other is the signs. If you've ordered signs, you're welcome to grab them today. I've got a list of who's ordered them, and if you have your money with you today, feel free to pay me. If not, I can get it from you at a later date. So yeah, and if you are joining us virtually, let me know. I can deliver to your home or business, or you can pick them up at a future meeting. Let's see here. I also want to share again that Happy Dollars today, if you had seen the email, are going to the organization Sharing Our Roots, which you work a little bit with Sharing Our Roots. Yeah, wonderful organization. I'm sure Don might touch on that a little bit, but they are doing a community garden in the Cannon River Mobile Home Park, and they have reached out to us to check about financial support. Unfortunately, we've exceeded our club donation amount for this budgetary year, but what I thought we could do is the money that we earn from Happy Dollars today can go towards that wonderful organization. So be generous and help others get access to fresh produce that's locally grown. All right, what about club announcements? Anybody have a club announcement that they'd like to share? Okay, this might be the first time we've never had any club announcements. All right, I know you're all excited
If
to.
you want one, I can make one.
Okay, Lawrence. There you go.
I think most of you, if not all of you, got this four-way test card. Mr. Malta is the benefactor of that. And creativity are virtues of the day. Every one of us can be passionate about something. And we put that into our thinking cap and think of ways that we can present it. I do that all the time on about 4 or 5 things. And it's in your mind all the time. And you can reflect on different ways of approaching something, or doing something, or whatever it is. The best part of our job is Rotarian, is to find ways we can be a better service, to find a better way of moving the four-way test. And guess what? We do a better job of any of this. If we think about it, think of different nuances how to do it, and it builds our confidence. Builds our confidence, and confidence comes through when you're talking with people. They know if you're compassionate or inspired in some way. And each and every one of us has a potential to be a power of one to somebody. That's enough for one day.
Right. Very well said, George. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'll turn it over to Keith for fellowship, and because we wanna hear the exciting things that Don has to share with us, let's try and keep our shares succinct today. There you go, Keith.
Sounds like a virtue, succinctness. There we go. Okay, for birthdays, we have, Mr. I don't think anybody's here. We have, Oscar yesterday, and tomorrow we have Erica Staub after. And for joint dates, I don't see Carrie Ann here, but Carrie Ann joined a year ago tomorrow. And as well as Nick Sampan as well. I don't see Nick here. That is exciting. Our good friend Brandon Green has a couple of guest interviews today.
Thanks, Keith. First of all, I'd like to promote our Safe Summer Kickoff again, June 1st, last day of school. Thank you so much, Alana Health, for donating, and Natalie helped us with that. Harry Browns as well is in the running to be able to donate for Safe Summer, which is great. And anybody else would be interested in that. This is a free event, folks, for anybody who wants to come, but specifically geared towards kids. And this is about the police department getting back to this community, because we feel a lot about here, like they're always doing this. We're constantly getting sweets and things donated, dropped off at the police department. So our new chief, John Sherwin, is very specific on who wants to do something for everybody else. So that's the idea. So make sure you try to make an event. A couple guests. I'll start with my daughter, Monica. Okay. And she has a big announcement. She is now the latest and greatest grocery bagger at Fairway Grocery. We had her first interview, and a funny story, she will not stand up and tell you, so I'll tell you. Was that her interview consisted of her having to take a math test, which she was not expecting. And, she must have done well because she got the job, but it was kind of weird to give her a math test for that. And I'd really like to introduce somebody who I just met via the Turtle Daily News, which is great, but that is Haran, and I'll let you say your last name because I don't think I can deal with it. Okay, and Haran was featured in the Fairville Daily News this week, and I'll let you tell your story. Just real brief. Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing? Good. Awesome to be here and awesome to see you all. My name is Harold Nyambati, Nyambati. That is my traditional name. That one may be hard for you to pronounce, but it's Nyambati. I'm all the way from Kenya. That's in East Africa. And I moved to America and used to live in Shakopee, then I moved down to Fairmont. And I said like, oh, this is a cool place. And now, I mean, yeah, I'm a YouTuber as well. So I feel like, okay, let me feature this city here, which looks so awesome. Featured around here, so I'm going around making videos and all that stuff, doing interviews in different areas. And I think I saw one of I went to a rescue center. I did that because in my country, That's not something that you can talk about, like rescuing like cats and dogs, like you take all most of them are roaming in the streets, people get them, kick them and all that stuff. So kind of like those animals don't have some rights, yeah, over there. So and when I saw that, then I said like, let me feature this, so that even when people back in my country or in Africa can see this and can also realize that these animals really need care and help and love. So that's why I went there and she really gave me a lot of information. So through that, I was also invited to the daily news and I was there for an interview as well. And that's how I met Brandon. Yeah. So he read the article, so he gave me an invite to this place. So I appreciate the welcome. It's a warm welcome and I mean, it's awesome. I'm so excited.
Welcome.
It's an honor to have you here with us today, and also if we can say hello to Annika. Hi. Perfect, I have a guest today too, brought son Carson with me today, so everybody say hello to Carson.
Hi, Carson.
Right, any stories about Carson? Great, happy dollars. Reminder that our happy dollars are the one you can see on the screen. The home parking card. So this is exciting. Be generous today. Be less, as Kurt said, be succinct, be generous today. So here we go.
$12 one for our new member who's been stalking us on Zoom for many, many weeks. She knows us, we don't know her. I also put $1, there's a couple of flyers, I didn't have very many with me, but Martha and I both participate in the community chorus Ocean. I actually sing and she's the accompanist, surprise, surprise. It is May 7th, so we'd like you to put that on the calendar and come and see us on that date, and I'll be reminded.
David.
Knowledge for our cause. Laura and I just spent 3 days doing some president's training last week, and I'm just super stoked about it. And there's a lot of good resources that Rotary has that we really look forward to tap into instead of that. So my mind says, woo! And you also realize what a great club you're a part of too. You start hearing other clubs and ideas and stuff like that. So watch out.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. All right,
Thank you for the warm welcome. This has been a fairly life-changing year. I did just turn 40 last week, so turning a new decade and a new week in a lot of areas of my life. So excited to be part of this group. Thank you.
It's a good decade, the 40s decade. Right.
Hi, Allison. So sorry I've been absent for a while. Life has been just crazy busy. But I do have an announcement that we're very excited about. My daughter and son-in-law are expecting a little boy in July.
That is great. Congrats, Brenda.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll be succinct, but I just want to say we're excited about the state summer kickoff. State summer kickoff. We're pretty excited about it over here at Grounds. So just want to encourage other businesses and community members to participate in whatever's going on there. Good things. So that's it.
Perfect. Thank you. Very excited.
And happy dollars for the crowd there.
Awesome. Mr. Ken.
20 for the cause, because I love vegetables. On that Michigan, Minnesota are both in the frozen form, so there's still a chance for us to compete in the finals. Let's go.
Gail.
This is for Dawn. It was fun for us to realize that we were used the virtual creativity together in a play many years ago over the Wetland Little Theater. So that was fun, and to all the guests to have been here.
Cindy.
This is for our class today, thank you very much. And here is also for the Iowa women's team that's going to the Final Four.
Okay, this is for the garden. This is for Kristen. And I said, when you said you turned 40, I didn't, oh my God, last week I turned 80, and I turned 80.
Doctor?
When we talk about creativity, I just happened to be staring across at Dr. Houston's tie. I guess that works for this week. Maybe we'll do style next week.
Thank you very much.
The first week of Ramadan and I'm barely holding. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Best luck.
This Friday is the last of this Lenten luncheons at Fourth Avenue United Methodist Church for soup. 11 to 1. And then last Saturday, Rebecca and I had a wonderful joy of some of you know, we're hosting Jean from Thailand. And Jean's a musician of sorts, and he plays the guitar and sings in Thai. And the last Saturday, we had a group of Rotarians over as our guests, and Jean did a little concert for us. He's quite good, and we really enjoyed it a lot, and we're hoping to do it again.
Yeah, Gene and Carson are playing some tennis together, so that's neat. That is fun.
Just
Oh. Speckles?
I think it's always good to feed people. I think that's a great idea to go and get this money. Garden. And I just wanted to remind everybody about climate warming. And think of that particularly when it comes time to vote. Look at the stance of the people that we vote for. Are we going to do something about this? I hope I don't bore you too much with climate change, but I'm gonna talk about it.
Okay, well, Minnesota, Michigan, hopefully in the Frozen Four final, looking forward to that.
Doctor?
Well, I wasn't gonna talk today, but now I have to. Our good Dr. Hanson continues to ignore four-way tests. This time was given to me by a Rotarian in Pakistan. And I think his comments probably would create much goodwill.
All right, okay.
That's for the garden that you're planting and also for the people that are visiting today. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
That's for our speaker, Dawn, and representing, sharing our roots in Cannon Valley Farmers Market. They're doing really, really good work in Faribault and Costa County to increase food access. There's a lot of food insecurity in this community particularly, so really appreciate the work that you do.
Well said. Well, should I say George or Mr. Wickstrom?
Mr. Wickstrom.
Mr. Wickstrom, all right, here we go.
I would say amen to Natalie's comment about the food service. But one thing I should have mentioned earlier, and that is that thought is the most productive form of work. We humans have the ability to think anything. And the four-way test, I think should be in our minds 24/7. And having this car with the gym outlet, I'm not sure. But anyway, it put out for us, is another thought, you ever thought about that? Because there's so many things going on in this world today that are not truthful. Just look at the way our leaders in Washington, what are they doing right now? For the most part, they're spending too much time depreciating the opposition. And this is not this bad as dangerous, because they're not working the most important problem. So, I'm just gonna get $10 for taking too much time. But the other thing is, the fellow that gave that time, may not like you very much. Think about that.
Right. Yes. Yeah, Greg, I'll echo your, yeah, are we following the four-way test here? So I've got a few dollars, one for me and David working so hard to make our technology work, and I just don't understand why things don't always work, but they don't, and I appreciate the help of my fellow Rotarians. One for Brenda, who celebrated a work anniversary recently. And Brenda's such an amazing example of what makes Reliance Bank special. And so that's pretty neat. And then my other dollar is for Zach. And so when I was in high school, I had a marketing teacher named Mr. Hammond, and he did such an awesome job highlighting what makes marketing special through the use of stories. And Zach's knocking it out of the park with Harry Brown's marketing. And one of the things that he does so well is connecting with the community, connecting with people on an individual level. And that's so special because so many times companies are kind of a cold entity, right? And Zach's able to make Harry Brown something that's so human and so personal. And you're doing an awesome job, Zach. So good job. Keep up the great work. So, all right, Dawn, oh, wait a second, dad joke. I know even Dawn's been looking forward to this dad joke, and then we'll get you switched over. All set, here we go. Are you ready? It's not good. All right. So what's the best smelling insect? Huh? A deodorant. Sorry, Dawn. Yeah. It shouldn't be hard. I do 4 jokes as a service to our guest speakers, so it kind of gives them a boost. And okay, so how about if we start talking and I'll look at our table to see if that other. Yes, I think so. And if it's not, I don't know what's that on.
No,
Might use that, 'cause
it's not on.
it's not,
Oh,
it's okay, I'll use
all right, all right now.
Hello?
Yes.
Perfect.
Well, I just wanted to thank you all for welcoming me today and making me blush in the middle of your fellowship. That was very kind. I needed that. My name is Dawn Weckstein, and I am a resident of Northfield. I have been involved in Rice County for many years with working for food access initiatives. So for a long time, I worked at the Community Action Center in Northfield at the food shelf. I have also worked on some agricultural farms as a farm worker in Rice County. It was fun. And recently, within the last year, started working at Sharing Our Roots in Northfield as the operations manager. And through that and all of my connections in Rice County, I was asked to manage the Cannon Valley Farmers Market in August with friendships and connections with Tiffany Tripp, who started the market years ago as a winter market, and it is now just kind of blossomed into an all year round market. So we're really excited about that.
I do have your.
Yay.
Here, so
I have a very basic PowerPoint.
here, let me set it on the podium. You can sign in and it will display right on the screen
Okay.
for you.
Thank you.
There you go. Should be all set.
Sorry, you have to watch me stumble through this.
That's okay.
Okay, so as I was saying, Tiffany Tripp of Grace Farm here in Faribault started the market about 6 or 7 years ago. And it was at the Paradise Theater, Winter Market. It was fantastic. 2022 was our first season for a summer market. So we were down at the Rice County Fairgrounds, next to the band shell. It was wonderful, beautiful. We had a great time there. This year, we will be at the Central Park downtown, Thursday nights from 4 to 7. So most of our vendors are kind of Cannon Valley residents, and that kind of expands through Rice County, maybe Goodhue, Dakota County. The Sharing Our Roots Farm is actually half of the land is on Rice County property and half is on Dakota County. So we do have some farmers from Sharing Our Roots who will be selling this year their produce. And also Lake Lesueur, I'm trying to think about my geographical county memorization from elementary school, but all over the place. And I think of this as, yes, we have wonderful growers in Faribault, but we are so lucky to live in this region of the world where we have such strong agricultural histories and legacies of farming. So it's really exciting for us right now to be able to provide another market in Faribault for people to sell their goods. And we have people who are selling meat, produce, eggs. We have fiber, which is really exciting to see all of the artists that and weavers and millers, all of that are bringing their goods to our market. And we are actually the market in Faribault that accepts SNAP EBT payments. And that is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which you may have previously known as food stamps. People can use their dollars at the farmer's market and buy local produce. We also have food access programs that we participate in. People who utilize their SNAP dollars at our market, they get additional dollars through our Minnesota Market Bucks program. So for every $10 they spend, they get an additional $20 in Market Bucks coupons to use at market. And those can be used anywhere, any other market in the state that accepts the Market Bucks. The Power of Produce is something new. We started that in September this last year. And what those are coupons for kids, teens, and older adults over 65, who come to the market. We give them a free coupon to purchase something here at Cannon Valley Farmers Market. So kids, I kind of changed the age on this. It used to be like 2 to 12. And I said that babies should be involved too, because a lot of people make homemade baby food. So babies through 12-year-old kids can get $2 coupons at each market and at every market they come to. So it's not a one-time deal. Teenagers can get $5, and then older adults are able to get $5 too. And people kind of like that, especially during apple season last fall. Yeah. So yeah, we are supporting local food and small businesses. I want to make a point of that because a lot of our farmers also have farm direct sales. So this is just an additional place, an additional market for them to sell their goods. And these are some of the products that we have. We have some wonderful honey. maple syrup, we have eggs, cheese, Cannonball cheese. Apples, you know, granola, soaps, lotions. We have a woman who makes herbal tinctures. So if you're into like natural homeopathic sort of wellness products, we do have that available this summer, which is kind of cool. I actually need an assistant, it seems like with this, I'm sorry.
You want me to run your?
No,
call?
I don't, I want you to eat your lunch. Thank you. So we do accept SNAP, and we do have these other food access programs. And I can tell you that from my time at the food shelf, I was at Community Action Center Food Shelf managing for about 3 years, and we saw such an increase during the pandemic of people utilizing the food shelf. And I just spoke with Michael Purcell, who is the food access director now at Community Action Center. I like to call him the new Don, but he isn't really like that. Anyway, Michael is great, and he did mention that visits are up 70% since 2019, and that's incredible. And I don't always understand it, because I don't understand why in such a rich agricultural region, people are hungry. We have the food here, we can feed our people. That kind of led me here to the farmer's market too, because I want to increase access to food. You can go to a farm, or you can go to a food shelf. There's a lot of stigma to getting through the door there, and that needs to change too. But we also want to make sure people have access to local community food at farmers markets too. And I told you about the market bucks, which is incredible. Last year in the legislature, it was kind of iffy if the market bucks program was going to be passed. So that's another thing, if we're going to talk a little bit of politics today, is we need to pay attention to what is happening in our Minnesota legislature too, to help those who are not able to always help themselves. And the Market Bucks program has been phenomenal to help with food access. And I also really want to point out too, this bottom point, we are such a vibrant community here in 2023. I grew up in Owatonna, and lived there through most of my adult life. And I saw people who looked like me, always. And I didn't know anything different. And I think it's really important for us to embrace our neighbors, because they live here too. They work here too. They want to thrive here with their families too. So I'm hoping that through some community engagement activities at market, or just within Faribault, that we can all just have that thought in mind, that these are our neighbors, and let's get to know them, and let's include them and make this a more vibrant community. So this is, now we talk money. This is how the farmers market is currently supported. Alina Health has been fantastic in helping us get our food access programs started. So with partnership through the Community Action Center last year, we received funds to start accepting SNAP, which is not a small thing for a small farmers market. There are some big costs involved with, technical assistance and, coupons and reporting and licensing and all of that. So that was a fantastic way to get us moving in the right direction. So thank you, Alina. We receive fees from our vendors. We try and keep the fee low so that it's easy for people to come to market and sell their goods and make a profit. We want them to make a profit for their small businesses. We are currently a 317A organization, so that does limit us for applying for certain grants. We are not a 501c3. We are not able to apply for a grant from, like Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation, which would be great and helpful to keep these programs going. So recently, sharing our roots, the organization that I also work at, the board agreed to become fiscal sponsors for the market for grants only. So they are kind of our umbrella to get in and find new funding to keep the food access programs going. So I was really glad that happened. So we continue to seek funding to keep things going. And when I say we continue to keep things, funding going, it's because it does cost money to keep the SNAP licensure, the technical assistance, the marketing, things like that, so that everybody knows that we exist and that they're welcome here and they can get what they need. And I'm the food access market manager, and I do get a small salary for the work that I do. I think I was a little shocked after about a month of managing the market last fall as to how much time and energy it really takes. I love it. I'm very passionate about it, but it was very shocking that like previously it was very volunteer run. And that's great if a community can support that, but sometimes you need somebody to get in there and just knock down the doors. So that's what I do. So I just want to end this with, how can you support your local farmers markets? And this doesn't necessarily just apply to our market, the Cannon Valley Farmers Market. We have 4, maybe 5 wonderful markets in Rice County, and this is how you can support them. You can shop locally. You can keep that money, that wealth in our community instead of buying something at a grocery store that probably came from like Chile or Peru or California, and they have their own money. So let's keep it. You can become a vendor. We would love to have more vendors. We have people who are not only, growing and producing their own produce and products like the honey and the maple syrup, but we have people who are creating fibers and yarns and wool and, art at the market. And it's pretty fantastic what people are capable of in this little region of the world. Help promote our farmers market. Social media. I have a love-hate relationship with social media, I'll be honest, but I realize that this is the day and age that we live in and we have to utilize it. So follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Check out our website. Hey, give me feedback if you want. Haran, come talk to me. I like you too. So, but what I realized is that word of mouth is really the strongest way to connect people to local happenings, because they want to hear that you've been there and it's pretty great and you should come too. You could volunteer your time in our market. I love that. It's an interesting experience, because as the only employee of the market, I'm kind of running around like a chicken with their head cut off. That's not for sale. So I would love volunteers to help with our food access programs. It's fun. You get to give out coupons to kids. You get to make people happy by giving them a couple dollars worth of fresh free produce. So I welcome you. You can support our market with a monetary donation or company sponsorship. And that helps keep our programming sustained. We were able to have the Power of Produce kickstart in September because Rice County Public Health has a statewide health improvement program that gave us funding to be able to give these coupons out. So we have lots of local partners and we'd love more. So I hope to see you on Thursday nights from 4 to 7. Thank you. Yeah. Can I take questions? Yes, Mr. Wickstrom, you told me you were going to have a question today.
Yeah, so this 317 to 371, I'm not familiar with. Is that tax deductible?
Yes.
Yeah. So I can give you $1, it only costs me 50 cents.
Sure. You're asking me questions that are not in my wheelhouse about, but yes, the 317A is not quite a nonprofit organization. It's just kind of a little state-run. And if anyone who knows more wants to jump in here, so I don't dig myself a hole. Yes,
You can have, about 10 minutes after the meeting, and talk with me.
I will.
Okay.
Okay.
Where are the other farmers markets?
Yeah, so
When do they?
When are they running? Yep, so the Fairville Farmers Market has been downtown at Central Park for years, probably decades. I think they run Wednesdays and Saturdays. I don't know the time on Wednesdays, I'm sorry.
So that's a different thing.
That is a different thing,
Okay.
yeah. And then Northfield has 2 farmers markets right now. Riverwalk Market Fair runs on Saturdays during the summer from 8 to 1, and then the Northfield Farmers Market, I think, runs on Thursdays or Fridays, and I'm sorry, I don't know that, but we have some nice options during the week, different times during the week to access local.
When does this start?
Well, we have a few, I have some posters, if anyone would like to take a poster and share it around town, that would be great. We're gonna have a few spring markets, in April and May. We'll be at Keepsake Cidery in Douglas on April 15th, which is a Saturday from noon to 3. And then also back at Keepsake on May 20th from noon to 3. Then we will also participate in Northfield's Earth Day celebration. So we'll be at Bridge Square from 1 to 4. And please check our website and social media for more information. So yes, I do have some posters if you would all like to take one and just put it up in your business or somewhere around town, that would be great. I've been trying to do that and some businesses aren't always open when I need them to be open. So I've been driving to Fairville quite a lot lately, which I love. So any other questions?
So I didn't catch it, the first Thursday as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, June 8th.
June 8th.
June 8th will be there, Thursdays 4 to 7, and then it sounds like that there will be music in the park, starting at 7:30.
Which park is that again?
Central Park, downtown, yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Let's hear it for Dawn. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Don. If it wasn't for the Cannon Valley Farmers Market, I wouldn't have learned about the joy of Christmas pickles or maple cotton candy or apple cider donuts. And I realize I have a problem with sweets. So, happy to share, we collected $243 today. So that would be going, it's gonna go into the Cannon River Mobile Home Park. Thank you all so much. Thank you for another wonderful meeting. I'm glad all of you are here today. Go out there and be kind.